Hey everyone, and this is going to be my first video, but yet it's an important video. I've been trying to figure out how to explain this. I really don't want to exactly get political, but I've had some visions. And in those visions, I have taken it to other visions and confirmed it. Now, whenever we get visions, whenever you have predictions and things of that nature, it's not going to be exact, but it will be a roundabout. So when you take that into consideration, long as you have pieces to the puzzle, you can make decisions. You can be aware. You can also pretty much head off certain things on the path of it. So saying that, the political environment that's going on right now, when the president that you have right now, before he even came down the escalator, I had visions of it. I had visions of this guy actually becoming president. I just never shared it with anyone. I think I made a video one time about the situation, but I never posted it. So there's a lot of things that has happened afterwards where those visions have come about, which the market crashing pretty hard. Didn't know exactly what the reasons were, but I knew it was going to happen. There were other things that had come into play that the visions unveiled. So now there's something that's about to happen. Before Biden became even a question of whether he was in a race or not, when speaking to people, I've already spoke about Biden actually becoming coming into the race. But before he came into the race, there was Kamala Harris, and she was like in the lead or something like that. And through my vision, I knew that there was going to be the next president is supposed to be of Middle Eastern descent. And when I seen that Kamala Harris was of Middle Eastern descent, I was like, wait a minute. You gotta be kidding me. So it then dawned on me, okay, she's in the running. She's like in the top 3. And it has to be her that's going to become president. So I was looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, she's now um, out of the race. So I'm like, wait a minute. So if she's out of the race, then who else of Middle Eastern descent is going to be in the runnings? There was none. The vision also says that there's going to be a woman. So then I stopped thinking about it. Until Biden came into the race. Once Biden came into the race, then I'm like, wow, okay, it's not him, but he will win. Something is telling me that he will win. So, well, not something, but the vision is telling me that he will win. And basically, he is the right person to fix all that has pretty much been done. But there are a couple of stipulations here, because when he announced that he's going to have a woman as his VP, then I said, there it is. If he chooses Kamala Harris, I hate to say it, but he will not make it through his first term. If he makes it through his first term, he won't make it through his second. Because at some point, a person of Middle Eastern descent is supposed to become president. When that happens, there's supposed to be some type of event that's going to happen. And if that's the case, then that means that this can't happen. Whenever, when we on this earth, our avatars, we're constantly getting information. Our subconscious is constantly getting information. As you know, we are all connected through energy. We are all pretty much light beings. So, and we're all connected. And I'll explain how we're connected on other videos or through other means. But the information I'm getting is the same information that you're getting. You're just not opening yourself up to get it. If Kamala Harris is of Middle Eastern descent, like they say, then that means that the prophecy is true. So, just like I said, when we get this information, it's not always exact. So that's why you have to sift through the information, sift through the garbage, sift through the jargon. So I find myself sifting through a lot. And I've been talking about this stuff to people, and before any of this stuff is even mentioned, and they take the information and they're like, wow, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, wow. But when I heard Biden was going to choose a woman, right off the back, I'm thinking Kamala Harris. Why? Because Kamala Harris was because of the fact that she's Middle Eastern descent. Now, I'm not trying to, this has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. It just has to do with the information and how it connects. So, I'm trying to take my time to go through this, but, this is a message for Biden. I don't want everyone to get emotions all involved in this, because to tell you the truth, if any of this stuff will be true, then that means something catastrophic can happen. Do we want that to happen? No. So let's get the emotions out of this. Let's keep emotions out of this. I know that it's been like a big deal and a big year for like women in general, just the independence and the talk about women, but because Trump has made the environment so toxic, because he has backed America into so many corners, because in foreign relations he has created a real toxic environment, a woman as president right now of the free world that's supposed to be free, is gonna be a problem for foreign relations. The reason why, if you're not noticing, there's a lot of dictatorship going on. There's a lot of newly elected dictatorships and communist countries just coming about. I mean, look at China. Look at, and you know about Hong Kong, and just look at all those things just coming into play. And then you look at the president that we have right now. Look at his actions. Look at how much he caters towards that type of representation, that type of governing. Listen to how he talks to you. Listen to his character. He once joked about him becoming president for life. That's basically exactly what the rest of the countries are doing right at this moment. And you see that their people are in the streets complaining about their freedom. The way this guy moves, he not only has made foreign relations very toxic, but he also entertains the fact that he wants to be president for life. He wants to have a dictatorship. He's not going to tell you that. He's not going to say it out of his mouth. He will show you through actions. Just look. Open yourself up and pay attention. That's it. Now, the reason with that toxic environment that we have right now, a woman as president is only going to heighten that movement. Because when you look at the countries that, when you look at all these countries that are dictatorships, they have no respect for women, period. None. None. So to deal with the leader of the free world, already in a toxic moment, now she's also a woman. Now we have to go over that hurdle as well. Now I want you to take the emotions out of this, please, because it would be great to have a woman president. It would be great. It would be great. But not right now. Not at this moment. Because of the toxic environment where you have these leaders, these men, these men are very on edge right now with this president. We need decency to come back into play. We need real negotiations to happen. We need real situations to happen to calm things down. We need the free world to show leadership and democracy. And that's not what's happening right now. So, a woman president would only escalate that with these particular foreign relations. After this calms down, give it 4 years. Give it 4 years, give it 8 years. The next election, yes. Please bring all the women you can bring. Because then that would be the right moment to solidify harmony within the environment and moving forward. But as right now, that's why when he announced that he was going to choose a woman, he's forcing it. He's forcing the fact to have a woman as president. And I'm like, well, why are you forcing that? He could have kept his mouth shut and just, when he was ready to choose a mate, he could just choose a woman. But he has made it public that he's basically forcing his hand to make the VP a woman. Which, when you have to force something, then it's nothing good really coming out of that. I hope you can understand that logic right there. But the fact of the matter is, once he announced that, I knew that it's a possibility that it's going to be Kamala Harris. They haven't addressed that yet. They haven't said who it's going to be, but according to the prophecy, yes, it's going to be someone of Middle Eastern descent. And if it is, because the prophecy says woman, and because the prophecy says Middle Eastern descent, Joe Biden will not make it through his first term, or he will barely make it through his second. Once that happens, the VP will be president, and most likely there is the thing that the prophecy is talking about. And when that happens, then it's more of a chance for this event to happen. Now, once again, this information that we get, or I get, or you get, or whoever get, we all get the same information. It's just whether or not you're paying attention to it. And the thing about it is, it comes with footnotes. It's what you call footnotes. And these footnotes allow you to change the circumstances. If you do not follow the footnotes and change the circumstances, then those events will come true. It's just like I have some visions, and then I verify it with other people who have had visions in the past, and I know that Nostradamus, with his predictions, a lot of people say that none of that stuff comes true, but yet it does. And once again, it may not be right on point or exact, but when you look at the information, you will always find a connection to it. It may not be this year, it may be next year, but believe it or not, it will come, only if it has been it has changed courses for whatever reason. And you can change course on anything that is destined to happen, or supposedly destined to happen. You can change the course of that. You just have to pay attention and use the footnotes and change that course. And I think a lot of this, with harmony of energy, we can deflect most things that are happening around us. And there's a way to do that. And I just, I want to show people how that when we are vibrating together, we can amplify any direction that we want. So this message basically is to say, and this is a message for Biden. I like Kamala Harris, but because of what the prophecy is saying, she should not be the VP. either way, he has chosen a woman. So I don't know if that would shift to the next woman or not. If he was to choose a guy, then I believe he'll make it through both terms. And this is, please, people, take the emotions out of this. I'm only dealing with what is happening right now. If we didn't have the president that we have right now and the toxic environment that he has created domestically and internationally, if we didn't have that, then I would be all for it. But we have it. It's here, it's him. When I look at Nostradamus, some of his predictions, he said that the prince will become president. And with this prince, he is going to say that he's bringing the parties together. He's going to say and promote that he is for the people. But in reality, he's not for the people. He's only for himself. And all of this stuff, I knew this before he was even a question for president. And before he became president, I was letting people know, like, look, this guy, this is the prince. He's the prince that I seen, which in my vision, it wasn't the prince. It was something similar, but it wasn't a prince. But with Nostradamus, he says the prince will become president. Now, this prince is supposed to either start a war, and then the next person that comes in is supposed to take on that war. But I think that he's going to start the war, and so that he can stay in office. He said it himself in some type of publication or interview in like 2013, 14, somewhere. I think it was one of those. He said it himself, but he was talking about Obama. But usually when he talks about somebody, he's actually talking about himself. Those are the things that he would do. Okay? So, and you can look that up, because, he actually said that Obama would start a war in order to stay in office. But yet, this guy, if that's the way he thinks, most likely that's how he's going to do. So, once that happens, he's going to come out of that office. And when he does, then the next person is going to take over on that. Now, I don't know when I don't know when he will come out of the office. I don't know how it would happen. I don't know, I don't know what would happen for Kamala Harris to become president. but it it may not even be her that's going to be VP. I'm just going off of what my vision was, and from my um, confirmations that I've gotten from other visionaries. So all this stuff that I'm saying to you right now is prophecy, but yet you take it with a grain of salt. Um, you just be mindful. And that's what I want Biden to do, is be mindful. That's it. Just be mindful of what we're talking about here. Um, this is not conspiracy. I'm not talking about a conspiracy. I'm talking about actual vision. I'm talking about actual people who have seen that same vision, and I confirmed it with those with that particular literature that I found. So I just had to say something. I had to say something and let people know, like, look, I let Biden know, really. It's not even about, it's about this guy who is forcing a woman into that role, which is not, there's nothing wrong with a woman being in that role. Please let me say that again. There's nothing wrong with a woman being in that role. It's great. It's awesome. I'm just looking at what's happening around the world. And with the way that everything has been put together in foreign relations, how we look in foreign relations right now, the people involved, the countries involved, and the way they have, what their respect level is, excuse me, for certain things and situations, it just wouldn't be a good situation. It wouldn't be a good fit right now. We need to get the decency back into America. We need to get get everything under control, and then bring the woman into the picture, because you're already going to have a whole bunch of hurdles, and that's going to just be another hurdle. And with that hurdle, the person who's going to be in that role, it's going to be a difficult situation, because all those hurdles you're going to have to get over. And not only just the hurdle of being in that office and dealing with the situations that are going on and dealing with the toxic environment that has been created for you, but now you're going to have to deal with the fact that you're a woman. And these guys don't respect women. They don't. So then you're going to have to deal with that. And it's very hard for a lot of people to put their ego at the door. Just saying. So please get the emotions out of this. Take your emotions out. This is not about, somebody hating or bashing anyone or of any kind. It's just look at what's happening around the world, not just in these United States, around the world. Please don't live in your bubble and think everything is just everything. We're all connected. When I say all of us, I mean all of us.